Hi everyone, it's craftytinas. Today's video we're using our We R Memory Cinch to make a covered wire notebook using fun fur. This is the fake fur like you get at any fabric store, even Walmart carries it, but I happen to get this one piece, and the one piece makes two quarter-page books. I got this from Dollar Tree. It's just a simple fake fur. I love me some purple, so I had to get the lavender piece. This is an experiment. I'm doing a quarter-page diary. So I just made a very simple diary sheet. This will be available for download on my Facebook page. That Facebook page link will be in the description. I made a cute little notebook, the double loop spiral that the cinch does. This is a 2-to-1 pitch. I made this using the 9/16 wire so that if you don't have the full-size cinch, you can use your mini cinch. This is a notebook that doesn't require it to be thick, and you can use your mini or your full-size cinch. Now in today's video, we're going to use the full-size cinch. We are going to use our craftytinas logs. We're getting quite the collection. We now have a shadow box spreadsheet so that we can make more shadow boxes in different sizes. We have the mini cinch log, so we can use our mini cinch to make multiple punches and multiple notebooks. And we have the regular log. This one I've been using the most, so we have 2 pages of sizes for you guys. So we're going to use the full-size cinch today, and we're going to make this fuzzy little diary. As soon as I saw this, that's what I thought of first shot was, hey, this is kind of cool. This looks like a diary. I actually have a couple of ideas to even dress this up, because you could run a ribbon through here and come out the other side. You could actually make a beaded handle or just a beaded strap that would look really cute on the side. You could take a piece of leather with a buckle and make like a little belt with a little buckle for a closure for your diary. There's just so many options. One of the options I would like to do is not just make this a diary, but also make it like a notebook or whatever kind of book, maybe a coloring book. If you did the brown fake fur and put some eyeballs on here, you have yourself a monster book, and I can't wait to make one of those. But Dollar Tree only had a few pastel colors, and I haven't been to a fabric store in a while, so I don't have any brown fake fur. I only have brown felt, and it just wouldn't look the same. So there's a lot of options, so don't think just diary as we make this. I wanted it to have some cute little paper inside. This was from a scrapbook pad that I got on clearance. Magical, hello sunshine, feelings, wide-eyed, smile, good times. It just looked appropriate for a book that's all about your feelings. I then wanted to add some flowers because flowers goes with everything. So I made a pocket to put some stickers in. On my diary page, it's very similar to some of my other pages. I left a blank area for a sticker. I think an emoji sticker or a feeling sticker would be really cute to gift to go with this. I just simply put date, mood, and today just to get it started. I really wasn't sure what to do for a diary, but this kind of seems simple and easy, and it could be for any age group. I also put in the back, just like in the front, I did scrapbook paper again, folded it in half, and made another pocket with putting adhesive in the bottom. The back is the same as the front. It has the little word paper. And then we have our pretty little fun fur. So let me show you how to make this. You are going to need hot glue for this. I am literally a hot mess when it comes to hot glue, so I make no guarantees on how this video is going to come out. I did pretty good with only one mistake on this, but we'll see. Like I said, when it comes to hot glue, I am a hot mess. I even had some of the glue come out because I put it too close to the edge. So let's get started. I want to show you how to make your book using the log to line it up. I want to show you how to add your fake fur and make your pockets, because this book is going to have the pockets a little different, so you can have options. This is just a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of scrapbook paper. I folded it in half. I added some adhesive to the bottom and used a circle punch, the 1-inch circle, to put a tab hole. That is all I did for this pocket. It was super easy and simple. We're going to do a little bit different pocket so you can have options. Let's get started. Now, what are we going to need? We are going to need our chipboard. This is 30-point chipboard. I think you're going to need decently strong, just because it is the support for this book. This seemed to be perfectly fine with scrapbook paper covering it. You're going to need 2 of them, and they're going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is our quarter size page. The next thing you're going to need, and let's go back here, you're going to need the inside covers. Normally we're making outside covers for these. In this case, for this particular book, we are covering the inside and wrapping it around to the front instead of vice versa, and I will explain that as we go. Let's put this over here for reference. So you're going to need 2 pieces of scrapbook paper or cardstock. It needs to be 1 inch bigger than your chipboard so that you can put it in the center and have a 1/2 inch all the way around. So this is 5 1/4 by 6 1/2, and you will need 2 of them. Now I have taken 32 pages, which is only 16 sheets of my diary page that you can get from my Facebook page. This is an 8 1/2 by 11 piece of regular copier paper, regular printer paper. You're going to cut it in half so that this is 5 1/2 and 5 1/2. Once you cut it in half, you're going to fold the pages, and I've allowed the 1/2 inch on each side, so when you bind it, you're not cutting into the words. So you're going to print 16 pages, cut it in half, fold it, and then you will end up with 32 pages. Well, you will end up with 16 maybe, 3, 6, 9, 10, 12, 16. You're going to end up with enough to get 32. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. 16 pages, so you only need 8 sheets. I'm sorry, I reduced this a couple of times. So print out 8 sheets so you get 16 pages. They're double-sided, so that is good for 32 diary entries. Again, this is a small diary. I am going to make a larger one. I'm also considering making a thicker one so you have more than just 32 pages. This was my test to see if we could even use the fake fur and to see how it does as a notebook. It actually does really well. So once you have all your pages printed, cut, and folded, the next thing you're going to need is 2 pieces of scrapbook paper. Now this is 1 sheet that is 8 1/2 by 11. I've cut it in half just like our log sheet. I folded in half just like the log sheet, and then I chose to fold the corner down. And I wanted to do that for the front and the back of the book. We have it in the front and the back. These are my pockets, and I chose to do something different than this. I wanted this slanted pocket look, but I was not happy with the white. So I cut 2 pieces of scrapbook paper that's the same as the inside of the book, and I'm going to attach it so that the white doesn't show, and you have a book that looks like this, like it belongs together. So, first thing we need to do is make the book in its entirety. We also needed the 9/16 wire. It's 2-to-1 pitch because that's what the cinch machine requires. We're doing 10 of these. We're going to be punching 10 holes and adding 10 loops. Now the beauty of this wire is it comes in this nice big 33 loop piece. I buy it in 100 on Amazon. So I can get 2 notebooks and have leftovers. Now guys, when you have your leftovers, if you have 2 or more, hang on to them because you're going to be able to do fun things like the calendar. We used 2 on one side. We're also using these for other fun things, so don't throw these away. And it just means that you're going to get more bang for your buck when you buy the wires. You're going to need some glue sticks. I use Gorilla Glue sticks because once they're stuck, they are stuck. They're off white because it's the Gorilla Glue, but you're not going to see the glue unless you squish it out the edges, so it's okay. And then the other thing you're going to need is a piece of fake fur. Now this piece was 9 by 12 from Dollar Tree. It was just one little roll of 9 by 12. For $1.25, you can actually do better at the fabric store with it on sale. This was just my test to make sure we could do it, and it worked. So there's going to be some more fake fur items coming out because I do want to try some other things. Let's get started making our book. Let's do these little pockets first. You need to put adhesive on your corner so that when you fold it down, it sticks. So I'm going to use my squeaking double-sided tape machine here. This is an advanced tape glider, in case you're wondering. It does really well. It's just double-sided adhesive. And now I want to put my little 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 sheet in here, and this is what's going to show when we close it up. And it just needs to be held in by some double-sided as well. Doesn't need a whole lot. It's just decorative. Just make sure if you have words, you make sure they're face up. You don't want any upside down words. I'm going to hold the fold, place it in here, lining up top and bottom. I'm lining up my top more than my bottom because I actually had to cut a little off the top because it had a line going across. So yours is going to fill up the whole thing. Mine doesn't fill up the bottom, but that's okay because that's where our adhesive is going. So we're going to put a piece of adhesive just across this section from the fold to the edge, and then we're going to seal it. And now we have a pocket that has a pretty little paper back there instead of looking all white. You do not need to do anything here. Your wires will hold that. So let's do the other pocket. We're going to open up our little fold. And we're just simply doing this so the fold stays down and doesn't get in the way of the pocket. Then we're going to put our decorative paper. We're going to put that inside here so it doesn't look annoying with the white. And I'm lining mine up from the top because mine is a little shorter. If you cut it out 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, your paper will go all the way to the bottom. It does not need to. Now we're going to put some adhesive from the fold line to the outer edge and close our pocket. Now this pocket will work for any notebook. It doesn't have to be the diary. I'm going to bring you up here so you guys can see everything I'm doing. Now we have 2 pockets. We have our inserts. We're going to put a pocket on each insert, and you can decide which one you want on top and which one you want in the back. It does not matter. So far we have part of our book ready. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make our cover. If you've seen my other videos, you've seen this method before, but bear with me so that everybody can see what we're doing. We're going to take our 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 chipboard. We're going to add double side to all 4 sides, and then we're just going to do an X in the middle because we want to make sure that it stays and doesn't puff up. We're going to do that to both of them. I have more extensive videos on this method if you're interested. Make sure you subscribe so you see when I get more videos posted. This YouTube channel is all about helping you use your equipment and your tools and make fun stuff. I don't get anything from all of these tools. I buy them all myself. I am just trying to help other people enjoy them as much as I do. We're going to clip all 4 corners going close to the edge, but not all the way. It's very important that we don't go all the way because then we will see our chipboard at the finish. This, however, is covered by fur, so we would not see the chipboard even if we went a little too close to that corner. but you want to get into a good habit of not getting too close to that corner. We're going to go on all 4 sides and put double-sided adhesive. You can glue this, use any kind of glue you want, as long as it will make the paper and the chipboard stick together. Apparently I did not put enough there. There we go. You're going to fold in all 4 sides, bringing them in. Now this is normally our cover to our books. That's usually the front. But for this is the inside of the book. So this is actually our front. So we're going to add our front, making sure the writing is correct. We're going to add our front to the front. Now we're going to do this one. We're going to put adhesive on all 4 sides. You can use score tape, double-sided tape, glue, Mod Podge. If you're using something wet, don't oversaturate it, because this is paper and it will cause your paper to kind of wrinkle and be kind of wet and puffy, or look like it has gotten wet and dried. So now we have the back. Now this is the inside of the back instead of being the outside, which is normal. So this is going inside. So your book needs to look like this at this point. You also need to check and make sure your writing or your print is upright. You want to make sure all your pages are upright, nothing's upside down, backwards. Make sure my pockets are right side up and my writing is right side up. So now I'm ready to punch. I've got my 10 wires. I'm saving my extras because I want to make fun things. We're going to use the regular size cinch, and we're going to follow my log sheet. Now, this log sheet is on my Facebook page. It's 2 full sheets, and I've made it so you could fold it in half and put it in a binder if you wish. This, I want to put my wire on the 5.5 inch side. So I go to the 5.5 inch. I want 10, so I go to the 10. This tells me my slider goes at 1. It goes all the way in at the number 1. Pushed, the pegs 1 through 10 gets pushed in. 11 and 12 gets pulled out. So if you have the cinch sheet, it tells you everything you need to do in order to bind 10 wires into a 5-inch notebook. It doesn't care how big it is this way. This log is for where you're putting the wires. It needs to know this space. So now we're ready to punch the holes. I like to punch my covers first, leaving them in the same order, and I always do face down, just as a habit. So if I am doing something that's important, I know I did it face down. I'm going to do this stack into 2 punches. I'm sure it could do the whole thing. Again, I'm going to do face down. 1 through 10 is pushed, 11 and 12 is pulled, and my slider is all the way in. And I did face down. So I'm going to open up my notebook and put them face down. It's just important to be consistent. I want the whole book punched the exact same way, so that if anything is off in the slightest, then the whole book is off, and the chances of you having to start over are slim. Now my entire book is done. Normally, when we're making a notebook, we would take the back cover and put it on top so that the seam can go inside the book. However, this notebook, the seam is inside the fur, so it's hidden. So for this notebook only, this is not standard, we are going to put it exactly the way we're going to look at it. We're not going to take that bottom out and put it on top like we would normally do. We're going to leave it exactly like this. You can either hang your wire on the side and put your book on it. If it's a small book, I personally have been really comfortable doing it this way. Now I'm ready to bind my wires. We flip the machine around on the back. This is where we cinch the wires closed. You need to adjust it. This is 9/16. That means that it is going to close into a 9/16 loop. Now, I have a video showing you how to make this. This is the 9/16 closed. You're going to do one click above the half. There's your half. Here's your little teardrop pointer. You're going to go one click. There's your half. You have to push down and one click above, because 9/16 is 1/16 above the half. If you want to make this cute little thing, it's very useful. I do have it on my YouTube. It is so you can lay your book down beside it and make sure your wires are going to fit. And that's how I chose the 9/16. Now I want to close my wires. I like to put the seam part, which means the part that connects all of the wires, on the bottom. Then I want to push it all the way to it hits the wall. Both the loops and the seam has to hit the back wall and lay on the bottom to look like that. I'm then going to watch and close my wires so that they are nice and round. I know a lot of people are struggling with getting them warped or getting a flat side. But if you watch and you close them, and when you see that it is round, you stop. It usually stops in the right place, but I know some wires are softer than others. These are perfectly round now, and I don't have to worry about my book not opening and closing properly. So now I have basically a notebook without a pretty cover, and my seam is outside, which is not normal, but we need it that way, or we can do it that way to cover the fun fur. See, there's no seams in here, guys. The seam is inside there. So the next thing we need to do, we're going to move this out of the way, close it, is we need to get our fur out. Now this was a 9" by 12". You need it to be a little bigger than your 2 pieces of chipboard, because that's the space you're going to use for the inside to make sure that your wires have enough to close properly. So this was the right amount of space. This was 9 inches. It was 12 inches this way, and this is 5 inches, and this is 5 inches. So we have extra room here. So what I want to do is I want to slide this up to the edge. I want to take a marker, and I want to mark the fun fur to that size. And when I get to here, I just want to go straight across. Because the fur sticks out on the edges, it's okay to be a little off. Now, when you're cutting this fur, don't take your scissors and just start cutting, because you need to go inside the fur. Like, instead of cutting like this, you need to put your scissors. You're basically wanting to try to cut this fabric, not the fur on the other side. And it doesn't always go that well. These are actually paper scissors. I should have grabbed my fabric scissors for this. And yes, there needs to be separate scissors in your craft room for fabric and paper. Paper dulls your scissors quick. As you can tell, I'm struggling with the fabric, but I'm not struggling when I have fabric scissors. I don't know where my little ones are, but let's just go these are my fabric scissors. I keep them in a separate drawer hidden so nobody grabs them. See how much better they cut? I only use these for fabric. And I'm sliding the blade right underneath this nylon fabric and not cutting all the way through the fur, so it leaves the fur. The pointier the scissors for this, the better. You can also use an X-Acto knife if it's sharp. I'm worse with an X-Acto knife than I am with a hot glue gun, so scissors it is. And there we have it. Now, do not pick this up and shake it, guys. You are going to want to do some quality control here to get the fur away. If you shake it, this fur is going to go all over your craft room. I have a fan blowing, so I'm trying to be careful. This is too small of a piece of fur for me to keep, so I'm going to carefully take this and put it in a trash can, nice and safe, so it's not blowing around. Now let's make our pretty little fuzzy notebook. The first thing you want to do is, starting from the left, or you can even start from the right, we want to put this piece of chipboard glued separately from everything else down first. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to put one thing of hot glue here, and then I'm going to put my edge right here, using my fingers in the corner to guide me where my book is. You can do it this way if you'd like, and then put the book down. I did it the other way for the other book. Let's do this way, and I can tell you which is easier. We're just going to put one stretch of hot glue. This is Gorilla Glue. Does really well. We're going to just put the book right along the edge, from edge straight down. Okay, guys, actually that was easier than putting the book underneath the fur because I could see the edge. I couldn't see the edge when I did this one. So it's very warm. You're going to let it cool for a second. You want this first strip to be permanently on there before you move on, because when it is still super hot, you can pull it off, and you don't want to be able to pull this because you're using this as your starting guide. So you want to make sure that it's lined up properly. Now we're going to flip it because we need to see what we're doing and we don't want to cover it up with the fur. Now we need to put hot glue. You're going to put your last thing of hot glue along your chipboard, not getting into your holes or your wires. You're going to put it right along the chipboard. We're going to make one big square rectangle and then a little squiggly here. Now with hot glue, guys, you know you have limited time. The lower the temperature, the more time you have, but the less it sticks. So I'm going to just quickly make my rectangle, and remember, I'm only going to here, and then I'm going to put a little squiggly here. So remember, I didn't want to go any further, and then I'm going to press it down. And I'm going to hold it for a few seconds to let it cool off. Hot glue is instant. That's what I love about it. If it wasn't so thick, I'd probably use it on every paper product I have. Sorry about the very noisy car that just went by. Now I've stopped my glue before the holes along the edge of that paper. So now my glue's not coming out, and there's no glue in my holes or in the way of my wires. And see how our seam is inside? This is never going to be seen, which is what you want from a seam. If you do have a little extra here and you want to go back and add it, you can. You can just put a little bit more glue in there if you want. It's not necessary. Now for the next part, guys, the ideal situation would be to glue this here and then work your way over. However, once you glue this down, you can't work your way over. So what I figured out to the best way to do, I moved all the pages out of the way so it's just this. I need to put this glue line down first this time, but I don't want to do it tight because I need the excess to be here. So I took the edge and I put it to the edge, and I worked my little wrinkle over to the wire. And then I raised this up, put my line of glue, then put it down. I put this here and worked my way that way, so that this is the line of glue first, but my fur still only went to the edge. And that's how I got that one to work properly. So now I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other one. I'm going to make one big rectangle and a little squiggly in the center. If you get too close to the edge, the hot glue will squeeze out and it hits the fur. And you have to be careful not to do what I just did and get the fur in the hot glue. I think with a little practice with this fake fur and the hot glue, or maybe a little adult supervision on my part, I think we could make some really cool fuzzy notebooks. Now, because I got hot glue in the fur, I am going to cut that out because it changes the way it feels. So there's no more hot glue in the fuzzies. And now I have this really cute fuzzy notebook. And it's a diary. So we are going to be doing some more fun things with this. I'm not sure why this one's not laying down like the other one did. This one laid down really well. And I think it might be because I only added 2 pieces of paper to it. Or maybe it's because I played with this one for a little while and that's why. We have our fur going to the edge of the paper on all 4 sides. And we've covered the wire. I think maybe the wire got cinched tighter on this one. And you know, if that's the case, let's open up our machine and see if that makes a difference. Nope. But it still opens and closes fine. It just feels different than the other book, even though they were both made the exact same way. So there we have it, guys. Here is our Fun Fur Diary. Remember, this page is free download on my Facebook page, which will be linked in the description. Make sure if you're using your cinch machine, whether it's the mini or the full size, or if you're using the shadow box punch board, I have logs for you on my Facebook page. Please make sure you like and subscribe. The more subscribers I get, the more videos I'm going to make. We are all about crafting and how to enjoy and use our favorite tools. Thanks for watching, and as always, guys, happy crafting.